Hey, good evening to everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm Ace, and this is Ramen Toy. Thank you so much for joining the stream tonight. Tonight is indeed when we are at the final leg of our 80s Commanders journey. What you just saw there, the introduction, was when this journey first started. And for those of you who are eagle eyed enough, you can actually see that initially we had them as 1:10 scale, but we have now revised it to 1:12. Now, first of all, I'd like to make sure that you are hearing me and seeing me okay. Let me know in the comments that that's okay. I'd like to say hi to some of the people who are in the stream right now. I think it's Road Pick John, and there's Paul Scott there. So yeah, let me know if I'm actually coming across nice and clear to you guys. Sorry for the delay. We had a bit of technical issues. Apparently, the internet was down just seconds before me going live. So hey, Nathan, welcome to the stream. Adam. So all right, all good. That's good. So right, this update is I guess what you guys have been waiting for, because ever since we showed you guys the concept images and we proceeded to get pre-orders done, and you guys have supported us throughout this journey, and we are really appreciative of this support. And we have come a few months down the road. We had showed you guys some test shots, and we have explained to you. In fact, we have given the test shot to Mega J Retro, and he was able to review them for a little bit, albeit in those test shots were the first ones and joints were loose. But since then, we have already revised the tooling a few times, and we have tightened up those joints. And the final product that I will get in my hands when the tooling is finally being revised is just a little bit more tweaks here and there, and we will start rolling out injection and production. But today, what's important is that we've finally finalized on the coloration of the 80s Commanders, right? So not only will they have the joints that are nice and tight, it will also have the coloration that is exacting to what we have been showing you from the video that you just seen in the intro, as well as other images of this concept that we have put up for you guys. So along the way, there was concerns about whether would we be applying weathering to the model. Some of you guys prefer not to have weathering, but we have to be true to what we have shown as a concept image, and we try to do our best to make sure that the final product is true, as close as possible to the concept. So with that said, that actually has to have the effects. So I was able to get these coloration samples from the factory today, rushed back home, took a few pictures, and first of all, let us go ahead to show you guys the pictures, and then I'll show you guys the actual figures in front of me right now, and we can take some questions along the way. How does that sound? All right, so I'm going to go ahead to first share the images of the Air Force Commander. All right, so I'm going to do this. Hold on, guys. There we go. So let's see if we can actually make this big enough. No, that's not good. Hold on, I'm going to try something else. All right, there we go. Okay, so will be much better. I'm going to do that again. There we go. That's much better, right? So I was able to, take a few quick pictures when I came back. Been busy, but I think it's important for us to make sure that we have images to share, because otherwise showing you the figure on the camera would not be as clear, I think, as you would see it from my screen. So this is an initial, well, this was the picture that I've taken just this evening. This shows you the Air Force Commander with the coloration. In fact, if you guys again would remember, the photographs that I shared, I guess 2 days ago, had the missile that is on the front painted in a lighter gray, but now it's been corrected to something more dark bluish. All right. So the next image to share would be this one. So I've selected a little bit of a F-16 background to go along with the Air Force Commander. Hope you guys can appreciate it. This picture also shows you clearly that there is a visor component on the helmet. Not to worry too much about what looks like a very pale looking face in the helmet right now, because that is actually not fully colored. We are still lacking the actual head sculpts to be fully pad printed for the eyes and lips and effects on the face, and that will be available next week. So stay tuned for that update. But today I will still show you the head sculpts and what we've done so far. So next one here would be a reverse sight. I guess we have not actually gone into really close-ups of the figures, and here you can see that there is effects that's being applied to the wing components, in fact onto all the weapon systems as well as to the figure itself. Up next would be this shot here. Again, you can see how the visor is clearly seen in the helmet, and the helmet is broken up into halves. You can dislodge the helmet by its half and remove the helmet head that we call it, and have the helmet without the head inside for the figure to hold onto the helmet when you have the other head on. So that is a feature that you can utilize. And also from here you can see there's the weathering effects on his shoulder, on his thigh area, on his groin armor plates, on the biceps. All right, even on the red segments. And then moving along here, you can see him looking straight at you with again the effects that you can see quite clearly on the shoulders, the front of the helmet. All right. Next on, we go to a more full body shot over here. The blue selected for this armor is according to our concept design, as well as the lighter gray that separates it from its blue. All right. This one here would be, I guess, the money shot. It's a close-up from the top looking down, and we have, as you can see there, the turbine fans that is painted in a metallic color. You can see clearly on the shoulder where you have the effects. You can see on the effects on the helmet itself. So yeah, this is basically Air Force Commander. And another post right there with the weapon system interchange. From the wingtips, the turbine engines goes on to his legs, and some components that was from the back switched to the front, and the two missiles on his forearms now shifted back to the wings. So that is Air Force Commander. Let's take a look at some of the comments. If there's some questions, any questions on the Air Force Commander? Let's put it this way. All right. So again, we have initially locked in on a late October shipment, and we will be pretty much in line for that target. Any spillover would be like maybe early November, but everything is pretty much on schedule as we speak. All right, let's see. I would like to know if the parts can be played with. I'm not too sure about that. Not able to answer you on that one. So next one, we're gonna see the armor commander. All right. Let me pull up images. There we go. And we are going to share the screen again. All right, this is Armor Commander. So we have saw the comments in the comment section about how the Armor Commander should be more orangey. But again, if you look at the introduction video and how we had presented the Armor Commander from the start, from the get-go, would be that he is more of this color that we have rendered, right? So we are producing him exactly close to how we had presented him to you during the concept and controlled drawings stage. So that is how Armor Commander will look based on the yellow that we've selected for the initial renders. So we hope that you can understand. All right. So let's go on to check out some details of the Armor Commander. As you can see from there, there is a spotlight on his left shoulder, and that actually consists of a clear part. Okay. This second view here shows that the antenna has a bit of a metal color at that section where it actually bends in real life, right? For those of you who are familiar with antennas in the military, especially on armored vehicles, these antennas, the black section is where it sort of flexes, right? It flexes. You can actually bring it all the way down, but of course not in our case of the toy, right? So, but that's why it's black in color. Over here, you can also see clearly on the weathering that is being done on the Commander. It really brings out the effects. A close-up of the Armor Commander, of course, as usual. So you can see from this that we have it exact. This is exactly how you will get the figure, right? You will have this effects. Not to worry, it will be done to a good standard. And as you can see there, we have even the green weapons that is on his suit is all having the tonation as well in terms of the shadowing. All right. And contrary to what this image might suggest, it's actually not black that is separating the yellow. It's actually a gray. Okay. So it's actually a gray. Okay. Apparently, my DSLR camera, based on the bad lighting that I have at home, with only just some light, when I did some color correction to make it brighter, apparently the gray was darkened to look like black. But rest assured that it is not black that is separating with the yellow. Okay, it's definitely a gray. Next up would be this right side image where you can see clearly on his backpack where you have the rivets that is having the weathering. You have I don't know what it's called as well. It's like a bazooka weapon that has the effects over there. It's looking nice and sharp. Effects on his armor, on his suit. Okay. And of course, I was able to find a little, desert battlefield background to add to it, bring him alive. On this shot over here, you can see again very clearly his backpack and how the colors really stand out. The weathering wash that we applied would bring all the details that we've sculpted into this features, right? All the details is all standing out. Everything, every line, every contour, as you can see, right? A picture tells 1,000 words. Again, the money shot for Armor Commander. On the signal set, you can see the dials. You can see the dials clearly. It is a signal set. All right. He's carrying a signal set with him as well for communications with the antenna. And this weapon now placed on his shoulder, and it can be launched. All right. So as I was saying, he's in a pose for launching this particular weapon. Of course, the projectile can be removed. Right? Can be removed. All right. More on that later. Let's enjoy the pictures first. And finally, this shot shows you that he's a little bit posed with right leg sort of behind, left leg forward, bend at the knees. Again, you can see the visor over there. You can see the weathering. You can see the green that is exacting to how a military green would look like. So there you have it. That is Armor Commander. Any comments on that one while I prepare images for the Naval Commander? Thank you, Paul, so much for that comment. I'm going to go ahead to prepare the images. There we go. So actually, Naval Commander is a favorite of mine. So I'm saving the best for last, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead to share the screen. And there we go. That is Naval Commander. So again, we have applied the weathering effects on all parts of the figure and its accessories. You can see how the various details, the most minute of details standing out with this wash. Previously on other images, you've seen the front fin, the yellow fin, just being a plain yellow, but no, it's actually full of details, along with his weapon on the left of his hand, as well as you can see over there, the turbine blades that is in his propulsion unit. All right, again with the green and the effects over there. Moving along to the next one on the back side. Again, we have chosen the colors that's exacting to what you are very familiar with from the 80s Commanders. And of course, the projectile can also be removed from its launcher. But of course, there's no spring-loaded components. This is a collectible. Again, you can see how the black wash, the weathering has accentuated all the details on the Naval Commander's weapon system. You can see how the helmet from the back is really standing out from the shadowing. This pose right here with his launcher now placed on his right hand. Amazing, isn't it? Isn't this? I think this is one of my favorite poses. Amazing. And how his colors all come together, very military-like. The green. You can see how his helmet has the fins on the top there, a bit of a differential from the other commanders. And of course, the weathering on his armor, on his suit itself. A close-up again. All right, so previously was this, and doing a close-up here. Looks like a 12-inch figure, isn't it? But no, it's actually 6-inch, right? As I'm holding it right here in my hands. Okay. So yeah, this is a Naval Commander, and of course we have the money shot. Hold on, before that, there's another picture on from the I guess 2 o'clock position coming in. Now with the front fin placed to the back. Again, a close-up, you can see the effects on the helmet, the effects on the suit, the effects on all the weapon system. And as I was saying, money shot, this is the money shot. So I placed it onto a stand, but of course we don't include a stand with our figures, with our apologies. But this figure stand can be found in most action figures retail outlets. And this is, again, I've found a bit of a backdrop to take all these pictures. And for me, this is the money shot there when you have, the legs in a swimming position. As you can see how the hip joints hold up the legs with the attachments. All right, you can see clearly the turbine blades, the turbine fans, right, on the propulsion unit there, painted in metallic silver, dark metallic silver, and of course in all its glory with this pose. So the photographic opportunities for these figures are limitless based on your imagination. All right, they are really well posed, and you can go back to our Facebook to check out how we can actually pose the figures and know from there that it is highly posable. All right, so with that done, we have concluded the first segment, which is to show you with a camera's lens how the figures would turn out, right? Basically, using a DSLR with the slightest of adjustments of colors, just basically brightening it, because I realized that I did not take the images that bright, because I'm in this environment, not really a studio to take pictures with bright lights. All right. So any comments, any questions that we can address in the meantime? Okay, the visors look opaque. Now, this is something that we have to sort of give and take, because the material that we're using is ABS, and with ABS, you can check online to know that ABS, any clear ABS parts will never reach the clarity of like acrylic or other materials of plastics. Now, why we cannot change to acrylic or other materials of plastic is because with acrylic, then we are not able to paint on it, because the entire helmet is molded together with the visors, and the helmet is injected with the same material that the visors will be injected with. If the material of choice is not ABS, then there will not be paint adhesion to acrylic. There's another material that is PC. PC is also pretty clear, but it is brittle. It's brittle, which means that when you put the helmets together and out, there's a high chance that you're going to break the joining pegs. So with this consideration, we have to stick with ABS, and ABS, the maximum allowable clarity is what we see here. So this is a limitation in terms of the material of choice. All right. All right. So with that said, I'm going to try to do the next thing, which is to show you the progress on the heads. Okay. So you can't really see it as per what I'm seeing in front of me, because first of all, the camera will not be able to be my eye, so it can't really show you the details of the skin tone, but it is there. And I'm just going to show you a side by side of how this is the injected flesh color versus the skin tone hue that we've applied. So the final thing that, like I said, we're adjusting the machines now for them to print the lips and print the eyes. All right. So the current hits. The reason why this is not completely ready yet is because we are still missing the final piece of the puzzle, which is just a bit of a slight inconvenience, but we have to do it right. That's why it's taking the time. We could have easily just drew something of an eye and the lips, but that's not how the final production is going to be. So we're actually waiting for the final production piece. Okay, and we will definitely show in full detail along with these figures taken with a much more conducive studio environment where you can see for yourself exactly clearly with a DSLR how the figures would look. But this is a pretty much 90%, 95%, all right, these pictures today, because these are made with the exact colors that is being injected, with the exact colors that's going to be painted, with the exact weathering that's going to be applied. So the figure itself, I would say, is not even 95%, it's 99%. Okay. 100% will actually be the actual figure in your hands. All right. So we were definitely waiting for the lips to be printed, the eyes to be printed before we can actually mount this onto the figures and take the final pictures for you. But in the meantime, this is where we're at. All right. This is for Air Force Commander. And again, for Armor Commander, again, the camera is not going to pick it up, but as you can see, the injected color is different, as you can see from your naked eye, from this with the hue, right? This is a hue, okay? The face has a hue, and it's different again from Air Force Commander to show a bit of ethnicity differences for the commanders, all right? And finally, we have Naval Commander, all right? So Naval Commander, I think, is more of an Asian guy. So we've chosen the skin tone, and again, versus the actual injection colors. As you can see, there's a difference, although it's not so clear. Like I said, I can see it very clearly. All right, that there's a tone, but it's not able to be picked up by the camera over there. So, all right. So those are the hits, and then now we're gonna go back to look at the figures itself, right? Starting with Air Force Commander. So let's hope that this is gonna be a good. I mean, the camera can really pick it out. Okay, so accurate to 1/12 scale. Accurate to 1/12 scale. Of course, different. What you might call it? Different humans have different heights, so it's not exactly to the T, but if you do a bit of a gauge, then you can see that so alongside my face, that's how it looks like. Okay, the size. So you want to see it up close. All right. Try to do a 360. Okay, gonna do a 360. All right, so the wings, you can see the details over there. Hold on. Okay, so the wings can, of course, be articulated, right? All right. And again, you can see the details on the turbine fans. And the back. Okay. Yeah, so that's how the commander looks like. All right, so moving along, we will go to Armor Commander. All right, Armor Commander. So again, we have him looking at you there. Okay. Pretty much all that we've done, the details. Okay. So again, this can swivel, the light, right? You can swivel over there. Again, everything is interchangeable. Everything can be removed and placed somewhere else. So this one here will be placed on the shoulder, as you can see over there. And of course, the projectile can be removed. Okay. So again, you can see the details on the backpack, including the bottom of the backpack. Let me just stick this up. All right, there's going to be, check out the details on, it's not focusing. It's not focusing. All right. Well, there's details there. All right. So, okay. All right. So we are going to finally move to, well, let's just check out some of the details on the weapons, right? See, it's all nicely sculpted and molded. Oh, by the way, guys, help me to hit the like button. Hit the like button and share if you guys want more people to know about the 80s Commanders and our next project. Okay, which I think I will probably share on this stream at the end of it. Okay. So finally, we have my favorite naval. Okay, naval is there, and loving the green. So previously, when we uploaded one colored image of naval commander, apparently that one is not the correct green, but we still put it there anyways because it was close enough, and the rest of the weapons was correct color. So we just shared an update with you guys on as a sort of a progress picture to show that there's work being done, but that wasn't the correct green. As some of you eagle eyes might notice that in order for it to be more conforming to our more military colors for the green, then this one here is a more correct representation as compared to the other image that you guys saw with the figure on the table. Hey, Mike Siller from the Tydirium Hangar is in the house. Yes, I mentioned earlier that we are on track for end October. We never mentioned October per se. It was always end October. And we are on track for that. So again, the weapon system, you can take that out. Okay. Oh, it's pretty cool. The blue light on the reflecting on the visor. All right. You got there we go. So yeah, this is the 80s Commanders, guys. And of course, let me just share with you. Okay, a little bit here. Let's share this. Okay, so you can see the difference between this yellow and after the. So don't criticize before the dish is served and the dish is served, right? So it's different. as you can see. Because of the weathering wash that we added, so the base color cannot be too dark. If the base color is too dark, then the final product will be even darker, and that defeats the purpose, right? We want to have this color, so we have to work backwards to find out what color would we have to use, so that when we apply a darker shade, then it becomes the shade that we want. All right, so over there again, you can see very clearly the difference. All right. All right. And while we're on the subject, we can also share the difference of color that some of you guys might have mentioned earlier, that the green might have been too faded. So this would be the injected green, and then we have the green. All right. So that's how it works. And since we're on the stream, this will also be a good chance to preview how the product will be packaged. Okay. So there will be we call it a helmet head, meaning that the head that comes in the helmet is the helmet head. It will be in the helmet at the time of packaging. But again, like I said, the helmet can be we just plug it out. All right. And so this, for the first time, is the helmet head, like cracking a nut. So we crack the nut, all right, the helmet head, and we eat the peanut, and we put it back together. So that becomes the helmet. That becomes the helmet that the figure will be able to hold. The helmet that the figure will be able to hold, right? That is, there you go. So the reason why this cannot be PVC is because if this is PVC, then it will have to be much bigger for it to, be fitted onto the head, right? So in the final product, it's going to be a bigger helmet for a smaller body. That's the only reason why, to maintain proportion, the helmet has to be done this way, so that it actually conforms, to the head, right? A nice fit of a helmet. So we hope that you can understand that, right? So helmets will be like that. You can actually take it out and you can hold it with the figure, right? Pose it with the figure, and that's how you do it. All right, as we have shown on the prototype images, right? That you can hold the helmet with the figure for your display. Okay, so we devise the packaging like so that all the commander would have a same pose here. All the hands will be here. The helmet head will be here. And then all these other things would be what each commander's weapon system would be. And we package it as compact as possible, so that shipping for you guys would be as economical as possible. All right. To give you a gauge on classified as a gauge. So this is classified, and this is AD's commander. And although we package it like this, but if you think about it as a rectangle, it's pretty much there, right? So it's gonna, in fact, it's slightly a little bit bigger than the classified in terms of our amount of weapons that we have. All right, so that sort of maybe I'll put one figure inside. Let's see if how it looks since we're live. So I'm gonna take this out. I'll put on the. So is there any comments at the moment that we should be addressing as I put the figure into the blister? All right. So there we go. Right, let me know if there's any comments that we should be addressing. All right. So this is how it will look. But don't worry about this. It won't be flash hands. It will be gloved hands like this. Again, these are just placeholders, right? Placeholders. Okay. So that's how the commander will be packaged. And of course, we'll have a nice design packaging artwork, right? Featuring some of our concept images, and our logo for 80s Commanders. How you guys like the logo? It's designed with 80s in mind. So yeah. So Paul Scott mentions if sales go well on this, we'll be planning on additional weapon packs. Yeah, definitely. We will look into all opportunities, right? All avenues, and yeah, we are definitely excited to beef up our commanders with more systems, isn't it? That's all. That's what we want. Will the gun barrel hold blast effects? Yeah, that's a good point. We could probably consider making some effects for future releases. All right, and yes, let me just go through this. Let's see. We're now like 40 minutes in. We'll wrap it up in an hour. Okay, so let me take final questions on the 80s Commanders color samples, the color pre-production samples, pre-production pieces. These are the actual colors you'll be getting, and I will then close off with the announcement that we made on our Facebook page some time ago. But the reason for the delay again is because we had to make sure that we firmed up some loose ends and make sure we're good before we show you exactly what the announcement was about. But still, we will just talk about it on this live stream, but not yet make any other announcements on the Facebook page, because we are trying to make sure that we have I think this light is actually not doing me good. Okay, there we go. So we're trying to make sure that we don't be ahead of ourselves, that we are constantly having the horse in front of the cart. And by the time we really announce it onto our Facebook is the time we are good and got them ready to have it for pre-orders. How about that? Okay, so let me look at the questions and then we'll go to have that review. All right, so how secure are the connection points? Yes, they are secure. As I've mentioned, we have tightened up the joints really tight, so you guys have no need to worry about that at all. I'm just gonna prepare my screen for the review. Hold on, but I will still I will still, look at questions. Will we be able to remove these figures from the packaging? I think we've just gone through that, my friend. We've just gone through that. You can't get any more simpler than that with a blister tray that you can remove the figures and put it back into its box. So that is as good as it gets. Let me look at this. Hold on, guys. Yeah, let me know if there's any more questions while I am finding on my computer on that review. Hold on. Let's figure out where to put it. Okay. Okay. So are you ready, guys? Okay. All right. So final words on AD's commanders. Otherwise, we'll move on to our closing. And it's been a long day at the factory. We're busy with the commanders, making sure it's up to par, up on schedule, working on the packaging now. We will review the packaging box art to you as soon as we have the images. And I'll be posting all the images that you have seen on the stream onto the Facebook page right after this stream. You guys can go and enjoy and scrutinize it. Again, you can share it. Please share it. Let more of the collectors know about our project. And if there are interest to order these figures, you can go check out our website, www.ramentoy without the s.com, and you can get your figures there. All right. Okay, so let's see. Let me just go through. I hope you guys don't think that we're not looking at your comments. Okay. This is good. We've done this. And can I still order a set? That is absolutely no problem. You can order a set. As I just mentioned, you can go check out our website to order directly, or send us a private message on this Facebook for you to lock in your orders. All right. Okay. So the rest are actually not comments, questions, but rather they're comments. Hold on. This one, is it double jointed knees and elbows? So I think we can put this to bed. It is. There we go. Right. Double. Right. It's double. Right. And also for the arms. Right. It is double. Right. Okay. So we answer that question. All right. So I think, can we see the connection ports up close? Okay. So connection ports. So so this is the connection ports. So every single port is machined and produced to very close tolerance, such that each one of them is, I would say, 98% identical. All right. I wouldn't say 100% because, again, that would be lying, right? 98% is a very good achievement because every single pack would be able to go into every single hole of the commander. All right. I think we mentioned this just now about accessories for the future. We'll work on it. And that's it. So I guess these are all the questions that we will have for today. And finally, I will show you guys our next project. Okay. that we are on the move. So we've made a announcement prior on Facebook about the collaboration with Super 7 on the Silverhawks. That is because we are licensing Silverhawks with Super 7. And with this opportunity, first of all, I'd like to thank Super 7 on this stream for the chance to have this license to showcase what we can do with Silverhawks. Of course, this is in no way a direct competition with Super 7's own line of Silverhawks figures. Rather, what we're doing, as you can see, is much more high-end, high detail, and likely higher priced. Okay, so without further ado, guys, I'm going to share my screen now, and you are seeing it, I guess, for the first time on this stream, that we are making Quicksilver, all right, in the same direction and quality as our 80s Commanders. Quicksilver here will be done in this particular shape. Okay, it is not going to be anything close to what you see in the cartoons, but definitely something that we have rendered and stylized on our own. Of course, with inspirations taken from various genres in our collectible pop culture. I'm going to just quickly spin this around, as you can see. And of course, the most important thing when we're doing a Quicksilver is to ensure that we have this metal-like finish. It is still, again, the reason why we are not making anything too concrete now is because we are working towards making this figure as silvery as possible, as metal looking as possible, perhaps without the process of using vacuum forming, I mean, for a few reasons. Because first of all, if we are to use vacuum plating, then the figure cannot be PVC. When the figure is not PVC, then you will lose your sense of weight on the figure. So any other kind of weight to be placed in the figure would have to be artificial weights. Now, going full die cast is going to be extremely crazily expensive, and we do not feel that such an endeavor is going to result in the fans willing to splash the cash onto a 6-inch figure. So these are the considerations, all right? Not to mention that if it's done in metal, you can see the amount of components that has to be metal. And this would also be a limitation on some metal molds that might not produce the shapes that we want. So various considerations, we're still working on it, but you can be rest assured that the final product from Ramen on Quicksilver would be as silvery as this concept image. Just like how we have brought you the 80s Commanders exacting to as close as our concept images, likewise, Quicksilver will be done exacting to our concept image. All right, guys, so that is all for today. I thank you very much for coming into the stream. Really appreciate it, all the support that you have shown Ramen. And maybe just a little bit on why we chose the name Ramen Toy is because both myself and my partner, we both love ramen. Not only that, when a ramen is placed in front of you before you sink your mouth into it, you can see that always a ramen is produced with the greatest care and presented in the most appetizing fashion. How the noodles are brought up and arranged in the soup based, how the ingredients are placed one by one onto the ramen itself versus something that's just thrown together. So that is how we approach our products, how we approach the philosophy in how we do things, that everything has to be neat, tidy, exacting to standards, and most of all, that we love it. We love ramen and we love making these products. So that's a bit of a trivia for you guys. All right. Um, thank you so much for being on the stream once again. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to end the stream right now and go back to posting those pictures, going back to making sure that we are on schedule for the faces, the eyes, the lips, and working on Quicksilver as we speak. So until the next update from Ramen, this is Ace. I thank you so much. Take care, and we will see you guys really, really soon. Thanks, guys.